Hi, I'm LaManda Joy. Welcome to the Peterson Garden Project Community Cooking School. In this space, we teach people how to be home cooks so they can prepare food for their families and friends and nourish community around the table. People are often surprised by how much output they can get from one herb plant growing on their balcony or in their community garden. So we're going to talk about what you can do with those herbs to make your meals even better. We're going to make compound butter. So compound butter essentially is butter with flavorings in it. I've got a couple samples here I could show you. This one is sage, shallot, and pepper. That would be fantastic on turkey or chicken. This one is edible flowers. These are nasturtiums, and it makes the prettiest compound butter ever. So we've got some nasturtiums and a little bit of pepper, but I'm gonna make a compound butter that's gonna be really great with steak. Now, herbs can have a lot of flavor, and that's what you want in something like this, because you're just gonna use a little bit on it on a piece of meat, right? So we're gonna start with some rosemary. I've chopped up some rosemary here into little pieces. You wanna make sure that it's pretty fine because you don't wanna get a big chunk of rosemary in your butter. So I'm gonna put a little bit of that in there. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of shallots. I like a lot of shallots, so let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to put in a little bit of lemon zest and a little pinch of salt and a little pinch of pepper. Now before I stir this up, I want to talk a little bit about the butter. Now you can use just regular old butter you get at the grocery store, that's fine. There's also some nice European butters that you can get. If you get one that says it's cultured, that means it's going to have a little bit of a tangier flavor, which I think is really delicious in something like this. So I've got my butter in here. It's at room temperature so I can stir it. I've added the flavorings. And then I'm just going to take this fork and I'm going to mash it together. So you'll notice the butter's soft, so it's easily workable. And I'm just going to keep stirring that so all of those flavorings meld together. I'm going to switch and move to using a spatula so I can get everything around the edges. So I'm just going to stir that and sort of smush those ingredients in there. It's really simple to make compound butter, and it makes things delicious. And if you've got a lot of extra herbs laying around, you can use just about anything, and it's really fantastic. It's a nice trick that you can use to make your meals even tastier. So, what you traditionally want with compound butter is for it to be like a log that you can slice and then put on something delicious. So what I'm going to do is show you how we make that happen. So you're going to want to take a piece of parchment paper. I like to lay it this way so it doesn't resist. You know, it has a curl to it. And I'm going to take this butter and I'm going to sort of put it in a log shape. We'll have a chance to form this a little bit more when we start rolling, so don't worry about it being a little weird. So I've got all of that butter. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper and form this into a log. So I'm just going to start rolling it like this. And since I've got the parchment, it's going to allow me to sort of push it together, make it into a more manageable piece. There's some air pockets there. I'm just squeezing those out as I push it together. I'm just going to use my hands to sort of massage it, get it into this shape. And then I'm going to go ahead and roll it. And I'm going to twist the ends. Now, why go through all that hassle? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to throw this in the fridge or the freezer. Now, once you've made this, you can make several batches together, put in the freezer, and it lasts for a long time, so you can pull it out at any time to make your dinner extra tasty. But I'm going to put this one in the freezer, and I'm going to show you one that I have already prepared. So this one has been in the freezer, and if I unroll it, you can see that it's in this nice log shape. It'll be easy to cut. So it's going to be nice and spicy and delicious. And I'm going to put it on a very tasty steak. So this is a ribeye that we've grilled, and it's delicious on its own, of course. But if we go ahead and add a little slice of this compound butter, you'll notice it's a little hard because it's been in the freezer, which is fine. I'm going to take that and just put it right on top. And you're going to see that that's going to start to melt It's going to fill in all those crevices on that steak and add that nice herby flavor that you are really going to enjoy. Speaking of delicious, this full-bodied Cabernet is going to be fantastic with this steak. It's a 2012 Tangley Oaks, and it's going to pair really well with the steak and the compound butter and the herb flavors because it's got a nice tannin finish. It's got some flavors of blackberry and cassis and other fruits, and I think it's just going to be fantastic with this dish. So thanks for joining me here at the Peterson Garden Project Community Cooking School. It's great to be able to share how to use your garden's bounty and how to enjoy a great meal with friends and enjoy a glass of wine, because that's what community is really all about. Cheers.